Last part, Big Reds. Go, Big Reds. This is the last part. You can do it. You're almost done. Let's finish this out. Keep taking notes. Last part of the review video. Now, if you remember in part 3, we figured out the perimeter of this rectangle, right? So I'm just going to use that same information. We'll assume that this length is 10, this length is 10, this length is 5, and this length is 5, because this is the same rectangles before. Find the area. Area is just base times height. So I take, or length times width, sorry. 5 times 10, which is 50 square units. That's how I'm going to figure out area of that rectangle. Okay, now for this parallelogram, I'm going to zoom up on the parallelogram so you can see this. It says a measure of ADC, remember the middle letter is the vertex, is 74 degrees. So that means this angle, ADC is this angle, 74 degrees. What's the measure of ABC? ABC would be this angle right here. Well, in a parallelogram, opposite angles are congruent, so this angle would have to be 74 degrees. Okay. If I wanted to figure out the other angles, I'd have to subtract it from 180. So I'd take 180, subtract 74, give me 106. So these would have to be 106 degrees. Okay, now I'm going to get to this last. Okay, we're looking at another parallelogram because two sets of opposite sides are parallel, and we have to solve for x and solve for y. Well, to solve for x, I know that all the angles in a triangle add up to 180. So I could take 40 plus 105, plus 105 plus x equals 180. Add these together, get 145 plus x equals 180. Subtract 145, get x equals 35 degrees. So x is 35 degrees. Right now, if you're wondering about y, we know that this is a parallelogram. So opposite angles are congruent just like before, so this ends up being 105 degrees. All right, now this is the toughest part. Toughest part is we have to know the properties of certain quadrilaterals. So parallelograms, rectangles, rhombuses. So you will have 3 problems on the exam that will ask you questions that say, which statement is always true about a rectangle, for example? And what statement is not always true for a parallelogram or not always true for a rhombus? So, for this type of problem, you must look at your sheet that has all of your properties on it. And I want to remind you about this sheet in case you've forgotten. The only way, and I can't give you the exact questions because that wouldn't be right, but you have to study these properties. So again, the ones I wanted you to focus on for the exam were the parallelogram, the rectangle, and the rhombus. You have 3 problems that will be sometimes, always, never. It's going to ask you about these properties, and it's going to be multiple choice. So you need to know all the properties for a parallelogram, rectangle, and rhombus. Okay. And that concludes the exam review. I just want to let you know that the exam will be mostly multiple choice, but we'll have some short answers. So you need to know all of the stuff, focus on this stuff, do your best study, take notes. And if you need extra help, come see Mr. Fischel before school or after school during the times he's there. Please ask him ahead of time. Thanks. Do your best. Remember, in order to pass this course, you need to average with the exam. I'll just put it down here. Your classwork, your stuff for the entire semester. So your semester work that includes tests, quizzes, all that stuff, is 80%. The exam is 20%. So whatever you get in this is averaged with this. That's how you get your final grade. This gives you your final semester grade. Now, if you average, you could average 60% on all assessments, including the exam, and that could get you to pass if you're not doing well in the course, or if you got a 77%, you got 77% or higher on the exam, you automatically pass the course. Again, but people want to do well on this exam because this has a big impact on what grade you get in the course. So let's say you're getting an A, but you bomb the exam. That doesn't mean you're going to get an A for the semester. So study, do the best you can, and good luck. Go Big Reds.